The minor blues. So now, my entire channel I've been talking about how necessary it is to understand that the blues is the sound of seventh chords with a minor chord on top, a minor scale on top of it. So now, we have different types of blues, but just like we have different types of seventh chords or chords, the blues is seventh chords. The minor blues is minor chords. Now, lucky for us, the equation that we have of the minor chord on the bottom still can work with the minor scale on top. They actually go together even better. It's why I personally love the minor blues versus the blues. Make sense so far? I hope so. So now, it's a very simple aspect, but we have some cool things to do. So the reason I want to bring this up is because when you're looking for a backing track, if you type in A blues backing track and you see A minor blues backing track, well, all my blues tricks are not going to work that I showed you. But if you get a minor blues backing track, you got to know what to do. So let's talk about the minor blues. We're going to do this in the key of A. So we have an A minor. Hey, that doesn't work if I show like it. So A minor, right? There's your first chord. You can do simple 12-bar blues in A minor, right? Bam! So we're going to use the A minor chords, the minor blues. And we'll talk about some songs that have that. Now to a D minor. And you can hear that it is totally different than the blues. It's a lot more, I use the term like sultry. It's mysterious. It's darker, and I love this sound. Anyway, so we went back to the 1. Okay, now, for the 5 chord, now bear with me. The first time we hit the 5, we're going to use a minor, E minor. Now, some people right now are jumping the seats, and then we go to the 4, and we go to D minor, and back to the 1. Okay, so we have A minor, D minor, and E minor, a minor 1, 4, and 5, because we're playing the minor blues. So now, I said some people are jumping in their seats because everyone's like, well, the 5 needs to be a 7th chord. It does, but at a very certain point. So let's talk about that. When we get back to that blues turnaround, when we get back to that last 5 chord, you go 5, 4, and then the 1, boom, 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 then the 5. Oh, wow, great. Every video I mess up. Anyway, okay, 5. The 7th chord, the 5/7 chord, which is an E7, we'll play like this. 7, 6, 7, and then 5. Okay? That chord works best as the 5 chord for the turnaround because this note, which is the major third of that chord, which is not in the minor, okay? That note, listen to how great it resolves back to the 1. So there's that note there of the chord. Okay, so you get this 5 minor, 4 minor, and then 1 minor, and then we get the 7th back in. So the 5 chord, like in any blues really, is going to be represented as a 7th chord, especially in that turnaround piece, okay? So now, what do we do with this? Jeez. All right, well, we have these minor chords now for the blues, and again, this is my favorite type of blues. And by the way, Since I've Been Loving You by Led Zeppelin, minor blues, right? What are the minor blues? I had another one lined up in my head, totally out the window. I'll remember it. I'm sure you guys are shouting out at me, and I'm like, what? I can't hear you. But I'll think of them. I had them all in my head. All right, so the first thing we're going to do in a minor blues is we're actually going to use a minor scale, not a minor pentatonic, a minor scale. This is darker. This is I don't know, I love it. There's a conversation to be had. So when you're playing the minor blues, you can feel free to play the full A minor scale. I don't know, lately I've been trying to go backwards a lot, you know, sharpen up my skills. We have 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 5, 6, 8, 5, 7, 8. And now those 1s, 4s, and 5s from the Blues Soloing Mindset video that I launched maybe a month and a half ago, the same concept applies. You hit the 1 on the 1, the 4 on the 4, and the 5 on the 5. But when we use the full minor diatonic scale, we have a nice conversation we had. You know, A minor, you know. 4. Sorry, minor. 1. This minor 5, right? 4. So, again, I don't have a backing track, but like Ian have a backing track. But there's plenty of minor blues backing tracks on YouTube, and I'm trying to keep this short. All right, so you want to use the A minor full scale for the entire process, for the A minor, the D minor, back to the A minor, to an E minor, right? And then the last chord needs to be an E7th. And this is where the tried and true test is. You're going to discover whether or not these people did their backing tracks right, because we need the 7th chord at the end to help resolve. And it's kind of like a hidden rule or an untold rule. I forgot what the word is. Just type in the comment what I'm looking for. Anyway, that guy needs to be a 7th chord. So what do we do on that turnaround? All right, now I'll be launching another In the Mind Of video next week that addresses this issue to show you that some professional guitar players totally nail this stuff. All right, so we need the 7th chord. So what do we use here? Well, very simply, you can use an E major scale. All right, because we have the 7th chord. All right, I know it's an E7, but you want to use that E minor. E major, you use major third. So that major scale right here is going to be 7. Okay, 4, 6. 7, 4, 6, yep, 5, no, sorry, let's go back to 4, 6, right? Then we have 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7. I'll do that again. Again, everything being a chart below, of course. So you have 7, 4, 6, 7, 4, 6, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7. Now that same scale shape is going to go to any place you have a root note in the A string. So if you're playing a, I'm going to come back to it, but if you're playing like a C blues, C minor blues, and all of a sudden the 5 is here, and you want to play this, you know, there is the G of the C. It's the same scale shape. You'll understand this once. I shouldn't have put that in there. Anyway, come back here. Okay, so the E major scale shape starting on the 7th fret, and when we're playing the blues, E minor, D minor, and then A minor, and then we go to the 5, and you want to kind of climb up that little chord piece, and there's that note. Listen to that note, and this note right here that leads in is the major third of the E, and it resolves so nicely back to your E. So on that 5 chord, you want to use this note, definitely this note, definitely this E here, and definitely here, and you can hear the resolve. So listen to me do this. There's my E minor, D minor, and then my 1, now 5. There's my 1, I'm going to play a little. 4. Back to the 1. Minor 5, minor 4, 1. Now here it is. And there it was, right? That nice, gorgeous 7th chord being kind of exemplified by our guitar playing and bringing it up on that the blues turnaround and then dropping it back down to a 1. So I'll make a backing track for you, okay, of me, just in case you can't find one. As I was playing, I made that decision. I'll shout it out for you guys, and the chart below will have the appropriate scales to use and some chord shapes for you for a minor blues. So here's the deal. We have all different types of blues to talk about. We have yet to get to the Allman Brothers, which are the major blues people, and they do have a minor blues song, or a couple. But the blues, as we studied, you've been playing the minor on top of the major, and here we have a minor blues, which is minor on minor, with some trickery to be had to make it sound tastier, which is that 5 chord at the end being a 7th chord, and you playing a major scale on top of that 7th chord to help pop that sound. All right, I hope this all made sense. Go have fun. Backing track should be loaded up in the link below, and yay, bye-bye.